Hey folks, Chris here from LazyFA.com. In this documentation video, I'm going to take you through how to navigate around the red flag analysis tool in LazyFA. To access the red flag analysis, just click the menu and then click Red Flag Analysis. And when you do that, you'll end up on the Red Flags Overview. The Overview tab gives you a snapshot of what the company's financial statements look like in terms of how many red flags they have. So if you look at the red flags overview and the entire thing is red, obviously that means that there is more analysis needed on that particular company because it has a lot of red flags and there's a lot of potential areas where something could be wrong. So before we get into the details of how to actually use this tool, let's talk a little bit about what the philosophy is for analyzing financial statements in looking for red flags. The process that LazyFA uses is to analyze all of the financial statements individually. So there's one box here for the income statement, one for the balance sheet, one for the cash flow statement, and there's a fourth one for cross-statement analysis, which is the second part of the philosophy. The goal with this is not just to look at individual financial statements and identify potential accounting manipulation or red flags on the income statement or the balance sheet or the cash flow statement in isolation, but rather to do that as well as analyze items across financial statements, which makes it more likely that you'll pick up things like earnings manipulation and management shifting expenses from the income statement to the cash flow statement, or moving assets and liabilities around and things like that. So the cross-statement analysis allows you to look at inconsistencies and anomalies that happen across the different financial statements. For example, looking at things like accounts receivable and sales, or accounts payable and sales, right? Because the accounts receivable and payables show up on the balance sheet, but sales shows up on the income statement. So analyzing those items in isolation doesn't really show us much, but analyzing them together can give us a lot more insight. Another example would be looking at stuff like operating cash flow per share versus earnings per share. We're comparing the cash flow statement with the income statement and trying to identify inconsistencies across the two financial statements as opposed to one of them in isolation. So the Overview tab gives you a quick snapshot of how bad the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, or the cross-statement analysis looks for this company. To dig into the details about what is wrong with each individual red flag, in other words, each one of these rows that's highlighted red, that's a red flag that LazyFA has picked up, which is now triggering to let you know that you should do more research in that area. In order to dive into the details of that, you can do one of two things. You can either click the Learn More button next to each financial statement, or you can click on the tabs across the top. So let's take a look at one of these tabs. We'll start off on the income statement. Each financial statement is broken down in a similar way. Across the top of the page, you'll have the 5 or 6 major metrics that are important to pay attention to on that specific financial statement. So on the income statement, it's revenue, cost of revenue, profit margins, earnings per share, things like that. The next section on each tab is a series of line item comparisons. And these line item comparisons compare individual line items on that particular financial statement. So if you've watched the video on the chart machine, you know that it's possible on the chart machine to compare different line items on the same company. If you want to compare, for example, revenues versus costs, this is a similar type of situation where you have revenues versus costs. We're comparing the two of them together, and the difference between them is gross profit. So this would be pretty easy to duplicate on the chart machine. But what the red flag analysis does is compare other line items as well and derivatives of those line items. So in this case, we're looking at not only the comparison of revenues and costs, but we're also looking at the comparison of the growth rate between revenues and costs. And of course, these charts function similarly to the rest of the site, where you have your annual, quarterly, and trailing 12-month buttons. On growth charts, you'll have a period over period mode and a sequential mode, which there's an explanation of that in the charting video. If you have not seen that yet, go and watch that video. And like always, you can switch these charts between a bar and a line chart. So each financial statement is broken down into line item comparisons, And on certain financial statements where we have things like profit margin and gross margin, there will be another section of margins over time so that you can get an understanding of what these derivatives of the various line items look like over time. And this allows you to see inconsistencies. For example, if you look back in 2002 and 1999 in this area on Apple, which we're looking at right now, there was a lot of volatility between gross margins and net margins. So back then, this could have been an indicator that something was going on beneath the surface, because margins should not be erratic like this unless there's a lot of changes happening internally to the company. Like all the charts on LazyFA, these are zoomable. You can scroll to zoom in and zoom out. You can pan across them by clicking and dragging. And as usual, you can change the annual, quarterly, and TTM buttons if you want to look at different data. The other thing that the red flag analysis tool does is calculate averages for things like margins and revenues and costs and the various line items on the financial statement. So rather than just looking at gross margin or profit margin and looking at them over time or looking at the comparison between them, the red flag analysis tool also calculates the averages so that you can compare its current value with what its historical average has been. And that allows you to see whether it is currently in line with the average or very high above the average or very far below the average. These averages can be switched to calculate the average based on annual data, quarterly data, or TTM data, and that is consistent across all of these items and all the financial statements. The last section on each one of these financial statements is the red flag section. And this portion is the breakdown of all of those items that you saw on the overview tab. Each one of these on the individual statement tabs is clickable so that you can expand it and see what the explanation is for that red flag, what has triggered it if it's triggered, and what the recommendation is, and then any supporting additional information. So if LazyFA has identified a red flag, let's look at a few on the balance sheet. If LazyFA has identified a red flag on that particular financial statement, it will show up as highlighted in red here at the bottom in the red flag section. And to investigate why it was triggered, you can click on it and it will have a whole bunch more information. So in this case, we're looking at a red flag called outliers in debt load, and this was triggered for Apple. And the explanation here is that large fluctuations in debt load indicate that a company has either recently taken on a large amount of debt or recently paid off a large amount of debt. So this particular flag is designed to alert you if there was an abnormal change in the company's debt load in a short period of time. And the way that it works is by triggering if there was a statistical outlier in the company's debt load. Now, I won't go into the exact details of how these outliers are calculated, but what I will say is that when you see this flag triggered, the outliers in debt load or outliers in debt load growth, there's a number of different outlier red flags that trigger across all the financial statements. What it's telling you is that there was a big spike in this line item, and it will highlight where the spike occurred. You can see here that back in 2013, this initially triggered when there was a deviation of 53.71 times the norm in Apple's debt load. So effectively what this is pointing out is that in 2013, as of 12/31/2013, their debt load was $17 billion almost, and their median debt load up to that point had only been about $310 million. So that is a huge outlier. It's a potential red flag because we don't know why Apple took on all that debt. In the future, it became clear why they took on all that debt, but it's good to know about that and to be able to have an automated tool that can pick out these outliers and these potential red flags. So just because a red flag is triggered doesn't necessarily mean that the company is not a buy. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's even really a red flag. There's a number of reasons that these red flags can trigger, but in general, LazyFA tends to be more strict and it tends to treat things very literally. Because when you're making long-term investments, it's better to be safe than sorry in some of these cases. In other words, it's much better to have a false positive red flag than it is to miss one which puts you into an investment that ultimately goes bankrupt or has some sort of fraud allegations, or there's major issues internally to the company that you wouldn't have seen without a tool like this. So as you're going through this, as you're learning about these different red flags, just make sure that you keep in mind this is not a tool to tell you whether or not to buy something. It's a tool to tell you that you need to do more research if one of these flags is triggered. And in general, if you see a whole bunch of red flags triggered, then that can be an indication that there are major underlying issues with the company at hand. It doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't invest in that company. It just means that it might be higher risk, or maybe there needs to be more research done because you might have missed something in the financial statements. Now, the nice thing about this tool is that if you're looking at one of those red flags that we just looked at, for example, outliers in debt load, we know that it happened in 2013 based on this line here where the outlier first showed up. If you don't know Apple and you don't know Apple's history, it's really easy to zoom in on the quarterly chart, switch it to a bar chart, and figure out exactly which quarter this outlier occurred in. It looks like it was in Q2 of 2013. They suddenly had $16.96 billion worth of debt. So if you click on this, it will immediately open up the SEC filing. So we now have the 10Q, and it's very easy to just Control F and search for long-term debt or debt of any kind, right? Just search for the term debt and go through this filing and figure out what the reason was that this debt was taken on. So it allows you to really narrow down and target your research in the areas that matter, rather than spending 2 hours reading through the 10Q and trying to read every single line when you don't really know what you're looking for. It's much better to be able to look at the financial statements on a chart, be able to click that individual bar, open up the SEC filing, know exactly what you're looking for. You're trying to find out why debt spiked in Q2 of 2013, and that is a much more effective way to target your research. So that's it for this video. Like I said, all of these tabs are laid out pretty much the same way. So you've got the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement. They all have line item comparisons with several line items compared against each other. And then you have the red flag section at the bottom. And then the cross statement analysis compares different financial statements together. So comparing items from one financial statement to items from another financial statement. And this particular tab is really good for identifying issues with things like the AR to sales ratio and AP to sales ratio. So I really do like this tab. Even though there's only a few flags on it, these are important ones to pay attention to, in my opinion. So I usually do pay more attention to this tab than some of the others. But the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statement tabs, in my opinion, are really good, in particular for identifying outliers and identifying any kind of anomaly in the financial data. So pretty straightforward. Get to know these red flags, dig in, read about them. They have explanations, they have recommendations, they all have supporting information. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I will see you next time.